So on a full day workshop, we would do the whole hour long meditation, then you'd feel a whole lot more. I just didn't want to scare anybody.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's why I was thinking, I was expecting, I guess, more. So
Yeah, there is more when you do these meditations. And most getting into the body exercises go for a period of time. Like when you do holotropic breath work, it's like 3 hours. So you're just really getting into the body for that long because it takes a certain period of time for the mind to stop chattering. What we found is it takes about 45 minutes for the mind to stop chattering. That means a lot of us have never had an experience of our mind stopping chattering. Probably not this group, but a lot of people have never had an experience where their mind's not going on and on. To just have that silence of being in the body. So yes, that's what these techniques are for, and yes, you can get a bigger experience. The goal to me, if there's a goal at all, is not to have, of course the bigger experiences are very ecstatic and wonderful. It's a high, but the goal to me, I don't want to say goal, to me the point is to kind of hang out and experience it more of the time. So like for myself, about 3 times a day, 3-4 times, I'll just go, am I in my body, and drop my consciousness down in there. And it's not very exciting. It's kind of like a musician having to play their scales. It's not as exciting as playing at the Hollywood Bowl tonight. But if you don't do the scales, you never get there to full body awareness. And it just will feel good all the time. Yeah. So what we would say is that struggle is great because it's kind of like coal being made into a diamond. But we would say, hey, for this 2 hours, let's drop the struggle. Let's just drop it. Let's just be okay as we are. Because as you said, we're all doing that. We're all struggling. We're all human. So instead of going, something's wrong with me that I'm doing this struggle, just go, hey, we're human. So think of when you've been with a lover, and think of, you've probably been with different lovers, and you think when you've been very involved in your mind with making sure they like what you're doing, or checking in all the time, or yeah, that was good, or sometimes there's this whole, maybe it's more for women, but I think it's for guys too, checking in all the time, just checking in, making sure. Instead of just maybe sometimes that's fine, sometimes being able to just receive without having to let them know anything, just letting them touch. Just receiving their gift of their presence. Just receiving the gift of another person's breath. Just receiving their attention. So we're so involved. It's very good to also be the giver, but this culture is very imbalanced in that the giver is the most important. So I want to stretch your capability to also receive, not to give up giving, but to say, I also, if I'm going to be a great lover or a great human being, I want to also be a great receiver.